So, picture this. You've just blasted out a text to thousands of your customers about the biggest sale of the year. But what if only a handful of them ever actually see it? That is the unfortunate reality for so many businesses, and today we are going to figure out exactly why that happens, and more importantly, how you can fix it. All right, let's get into it.
This right here is the million-dollar question. You craft that perfect message, you hit send, and then what? It kind of feels like it vanishes into a black box. Did it actually land in your customer's inbox, or did it just get silently zapped by some carrier's filter? That uncertainty is exactly what we're going to clear up today.
So, to get you from that confusing black box to a crystal clear communication channel, here's our game plan. First, we're going to explore this thing called the SMS compliance maze. Then, we'll break down exactly why business texts fail and look at the surprisingly high cost of getting it wrong. And then, the good part, we'll lay out a clear path to approval so you can finally reach your audience every single time.
Okay, let's step into the maze. For years, SMS was basically the Wild West. It was flooded with spam, which of course led to super frustrated consumers and eventually federal action. So to clean it all up, this whole new regulated system was built, and that's the world we're all operating in now.
And the key to this new world is a real mouthful of an acronym. A2P 10DLC. That's application to person, 10-digit long code. But really, all it is the system that carriers like Verizon and T-Mobile created for businesses to send texts from a normal local-looking phone number. The entire point is to protect us from spam, which is great, but it means every single business has to register their brand and what they plan to text about to play by the rules.
So, if you are registered, why on earth do messages still get blocked? Well, it's not random. There are key players and very specific rules that act like checkpoints, and they're the ones determining whether your message gets a green light or a hard stop.
Now, what's really interesting here is how this whole thing is basically a chain of trust. At the end of the line, you've got the mobile carriers, T-Mobile, AT&T, Verizon. They're the ultimate enforcers. In the middle, you have the campaign registry, or TCR, which is like the central vetting agency. But it all starts with you. Your business is responsible for giving them accurate information. If any single link in that chain breaks, the message fails. Simple as that.
So what breaks that chain? Well, it usually comes down to one of these four things. So ask yourself, is the legal name or tax ID you registered with different from what's on your website? Did you maybe tell the carriers you're sending account alerts when you're really sending marketing promotions? Are you using any prohibited content? And finally, is your customer opt-in process totally crystal clear? A no to any one of these can stop you in your tracks.
And speaking of prohibited content, that brings us to a really critical acronym, SHAFT. It stands for sex, hate, alcohol, firearms, and tobacco. Any mention of these topics is an immediate, non-negotiable red flag for the carriers. Your messages will get blocked, automatically. No questions asked.
Getting this stuff wrong isn't just frustrating. It has a real, tangible cost. Every single undelivered message is a lost opportunity for a sale, for engagement, for anything. And that brings us to the actual financial hit of non-compliance.
Let's talk numbers for a second. If your consent process isn't compliant with the Telephone Consumer Protection Act, that's TCPA, a federal law, you could be facing fines up to $1,500. And get this, that's not per campaign, that is per message. The financial risk here is just astronomical.
And this just lays it all out, doesn't it? It's two totally different paths. The compliance route? That leads to high delivery rates, a strong reputation, and customer trust. The non-compliance route? Well, that leads straight to filtered messages, a damaged brand, crippling legal fines, and lost revenue. I mean, the choice seems pretty clear.
So here's the crucial point, and it's actually good news. Most of this is completely avoidable. Just look at this data. A massive 40% of rejections are just from simple classification errors. Another 25% are from basic identity mismatches. That means nearly 2/3 of all rejections are just due to administrative mistakes you can easily prevent.
Okay, we've seen the maze, and we've seen the monsters lurking inside. Now, let's talk about the map that gets you out. I want you to think of this as your pre-flight checklist to run through before you ever launch another SMS campaign. This quote really gets to the heart of it. This isn't about guesswork or crossing your fingers and hoping for the best. It's about having a systematic process to make sure your campaigns are built for success from the very beginning.
And here is that exact process, broken down into 4 super simple steps. First, verify your identity. Second, classify your campaign correctly. Third,
validate your message content, and fourth, confirm your consent process is totally airtight. Let's just quickly run through them.
Step 1 is all about consistency. The legal name you registered your business with, your official tax ID, and your website domain, they all have to tell the exact same story. Remember that 25% rejection rate we just saw? A simple mismatch right here is the reason for it.
Next up, classification. Are you sending account alerts, marketing promotions, maybe two-factor authentication codes? Each one of those is a different use case in the eyes of the carriers, and picking the wrong one is the single biggest cause of campaign rejection. Don't guess. Know your category. Step 3 is about what you actually say in your texts. So before you submit your campaign, you've got to scan your sample messages. You're looking for those automatic shaft violations, of course, but also for other high-risk words like guarantee, free, or loan that just make your message look like spam to an automated filter. And finally, consent. Your opt-in process needs to be, in legal terms, clear and conspicuous. What that really means is having a direct call to action, a statement about how often you'll text, and super easy opt-out instructions. Nailing this step is what protects you from those massive TCPA fines.
So, you've run through the checklist. You successfully navigated the maze. What's the reward for all this effort? Well, it's about transforming SMS from a source of anxiety into your most reliable and effective way to talk to your customers.
And the payoff is huge. Your messages get through, you build a reputation as a trusted sender, which means carriers will actually start to prioritize your messages. You're shielded from enormous legal risk, and best of all, you can stop troubleshooting delivery errors and start focusing on what really matters, connecting with your customers and growing your business.
And that really leaves us with a final thought. We all fight so hard to get our message through all the constant digital noise out there. But maybe the secret isn't just about shouting louder. Maybe, in today's world, the real key to being heard is earning trust through compliance. What do you think?